Hey everybody, Ray here. You know, sometimes I get asked by companies to do a review of their products. Most of the time, I turn it down. It's not a product that I have any interest in or would probably ever use. So why would I do a review on it? Sometimes I get asked to review products like this t-shirt by Feuerbach. Well, you know what? I wear t-shirts all the time. It's something that I will use, I do always use, and I can speak with some degree of confidence when I do my review about whether or not it's a good shirt. Another company that I'm going to review today is a company called Dewenwils. Now, they sent me this product to review. It's a small outdoor plug-in light for Christmas lights and so forth. And I've worked with Dewenwils before. You might recall I did a video about their 60-foot retractable extension cord, which I think is really good quality. They're good people to work with. They give me a good discount for you, which brings me to something else. I accept no financial reward for doing these kinds of things. I'm not paid in any way, shape, or form. Nobody sponsors my videos. I earn no commissions if you go online and order their product. I simply do it because if I think the product is interesting, if I think it's a good value, if I think it's good quality, then I will share it with you. So with that, let's go ahead and review the Dewenwils outdoor remote control countdown timer. It's really kind of an extension plug. What you get is, of course, the outdoor timer, and you get a remote control for that timer. One of the things that I like about it is that it is a flat plug, so when it plugs into the wall, it's not going to stick out very much as opposed to if you plugged it in that way. And a couple of other things that I like about it is your ability to set different times. So you could turn it on and say, I want this on for 2 hours. You can do that with the remote control. You can turn it on and just leave it on if you want. You can do 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. And it also has dusk to dawn. So if you were to use this for your Christmas lights, for example, you'd plug your Christmas lights in here. You'd plug this in. You'd put the dusk to dawn on. And then you would say, when it gets to be nighttime, I want it to come on. When it's dawn, I want it to go back off. But in addition to that, and I think this is kind of the coolest part, is we don't do that. We don't leave our Christmas lights on all night unless we do it by mistake. So every night when I go to bed, I have to remember to go out and turn the Christmas lights off. Well, what I like about this is you can determine how long after dusk you want it to stay on. So you would simply set it for 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever. In our case, we would probably do 4 hours. So when it was dusk, the lights would come on. 4 hours later, they would automatically go off. The other ability that you have is to just turn it on and leave it on if you want to with the remote control. There are a lot of other uses you can use this for. Of course, Christmas lights, we already talked about that. Well, what about if you have outdoor string lights above a patio or something like that? Again, put it on the timer. You can have it come on in the evening and go off 2 hours later. If you're having friends over and you're eating outside, you just hit the remote and turn it on so it stays on until you're finished with it. Or set it for 8 hours so you know you won't forget it. Your friends come over, 8 hours later, it's going to shut off by itself. Another great use for this would be, suppose you're working in your workshop and you've got a vacuum hooked up to a tool that you're using to suck up the sawdust while you're using the tool. Well, sometimes you have to go over to the wall all the time and turn on the vacuum and then come back, do your work, walk over and turn off the vacuum. Well, with this, you simply would plug your vacuum unit into this. When you're ready to start the tool, just hit the on button here. It starts up your tool. When you're done using your tool, you hit the off button. You never leave a stationary position when you're working on that tool. I do a lot of working in my garage and a lot of projects. I think that would come really handy for me doing that. To show you how the dimmer works, what I've done is I've plugged the unit into the wall and then I plugged that lamp into it. And what I'm going to do is go turn off some of the lights here in my little studio, and with those lights off, theoretically that light should come on. So let's give it a try. So you can see that as I turned all the lights off, that light came on. Now, here's something kind of cool about it. You notice that I've turned all the lights back on, but that remains on. And you're thinking, well, it's dusk to dawn, so the lights are on, that's dawn, why isn't that going off? The reason for that is they were pretty slick in the way they designed this. That timer, the sensor, once it starts to get dark, will go on. When it gets light, it will go off 15 minutes after it senses the light. The rationale behind that is, if someone's driving down your street and the headlights hit that sensor, you don't want your lights to blink off. And then when the car leaves, it's dark again and the lights blink back on. So it has a 15-minute timer once it senses a light before it goes off. I thought that was pretty cool. Just a little bit about the quality of this product. I think that it looks pretty good. It's a really heavy plastic. It's waterproof. The cable appears to be a very heavy-duty cable. Like I said, I like the fact that it's got the flat plug instead of the prongs that would slip in that way. It has a 12-month warranty, and it'll handle up to a 15-amp service. So I think this is a really good little extension power outlet for the outdoors, or like I said, I'm going to use it in my garage when I want to be able to remotely turn on my vacuum when I'm using a power tool. I think it'll be pretty cool to use it for that. So think about a DIY project with your vacuum. Think about Christmas lights. Think about patio lights. Think about pool lights. Think about lights that you might have on a fountain or a koi pond or something like that. I think this has a lot of good uses around the house. It's only a little over $20, and like I said, it's got a 12-month warranty on it. So I would recommend this. I think that it's a good product and it should serve you well. Hope this was helpful. If it was, don't forget to leave me that thumbs up. I always appreciate that.